Good morning, students. We are going to see. Okay. We'll start. Good morning. We are going to start query processing and optimization. Let me tell you the outcome of this video lecture. We are going to see, once you complete this video lecture, you will be able to know what is a query and what are the steps involved in processing the query and how to translate a SQL query into a relational algebra expression. Then, based on that relational algebra expression, you will be able to generate different query trees. And after that, finally, we are going to see the query optimization to solve the query. Now, to begin with, I'll explain what is a query. You all know what is a query. A query is just a request for data or information from a table. We call a table as database. A database can be a table or combination of tables. It could be anything. So a query is nothing but a request for some information from the table. Now, for example, select asterisk from EMP. So this EMP is a table name. Asterisk will fetch all the columns of a table. Now, next slide, we are going to see what are the steps involved when processing this high-level query. Normally, a query can be written in a high-level language. Say, for example, SQL, structured query language. So, this query will not be processed as it is. This particular high-level query language query should be translated into relational algebra expression. Before converting into relational algebra expression, that should be parsed by a parser. And we all know very well what is a parser. What is a parser? It will parse each and every character and it will recognize those query statements as tokens. So that will use data dictionary to cross-check whether it is following correct grammar. That is, syntax and semantics and all are correct. Based on your definition, you have given your query or not. So tokens would be generated by cross-checking the data dictionary part, and then it will be translated into a relational algebra expression. So the first step, it will be generated as tokens, and after that the same high-level language query will be translated into algebra expression. Computer will be able to process this relational algebra expression only, not your SQL. So we need to translate from high-level language query into relational algebra expression. Once it is done, once we got the form of relational algebra expression, the next step, various corresponding query tree would be generated. For a single query, number of query tree would be generated. We are going to see in detail in the later slides. And once the various query trees are generated, optimizer module will come into control, will come into picture, and it will take one among query tree and it will optimize, and that particular optimized query tree will be taken for evaluation purpose. So it will be passed to the execution plan, and accordingly execution plan will be generated, and it will, through evaluation engine, by fetching the data, your corresponding output would be generated. Now, as a first step, we are going to see translating high-level query into relational algebra expression. Now, you all know what and all is query. Okay. So, for example, we are going to see this query. Select department number from EMP, where department number is equal to the inner query is given in red color. So, here in this example, the inner query will be executed first, then the result will be given as an input to the output query, outer query. So initially select D number from department. This is your inner query that will be executed first. So from department table, we are using two tables here, EMP table and department table. So inner query fetches department number from department. Then that department number, so in department various numbers would be there, 10, 20, 30 like that. So all the D numbers will be fetched as an answer, and that particular subtable will be given as an input to the outer query. Now here we are going to select department number from employee table. So in both the tables you will be having department number. In department table, department number would be primary key, and in employee table DNO would be foreign key. So it is a referential key. So that will be fetched. Not all the department number will be fetched. It is based on the condition where this department number, that is DNO from employee table, should be matched with the answer of the inner table. So whichever D number is matching with the D number of department table, those particular records alone will be fetched and will be given as an output. So this is your SQL query. Now, as I told you already, this particular query should be converted into relational algebra expression. So I have given in purple color and green color combination the equivalent relational algebra expression. So here first letter is called a sigma DNO. So this operation we call it as select operation. So even here the inner query which is given in green color will be accessed first. So from employee table, department number would be fetched, and that should be cross-checked with DNO of EMP table. Next, now the entire key is called as a query. Entire query is called as a query, where you will be having so many sub-queries. Okay, a single query is considered as select from where condition, that's all. One select from where expression is considered as one query block. So if you have nested queries in the same query, each subquery is considered as corresponding query blocks. So you may have more than one query blocks in one particular query. If it is a complex query, we may have different query blocks. So these are all should be decomposed. Full SQL query must be first decomposed into query blocks. Only then it should be translated into equivalent extended relational algebra expressions. So imagine you have a complex query where you have multiple nested queries. So each query, subquery having select from where condition, that expression will be considered as query block. Okay. So then individually every query block should be evaluated. Now for example, we are going to see the following query. Select first name, last name from employee table where salary should be greater than, again we have an inner query. Select max of salary from employee where department number is equal to 5. Look at this inner query first. Okay, this would be one query block. An answer of this inner query will be given, the output of that inner query will be given as an input to the outer query. So now in this query, we have two query blocks. One is inner query block, the other one is outer query. That is also considered as one query block. Okay, so I have split it and shown you. Select F name, L name from employee where salary is greater than the result of the inner query. It is mentioned as alphabet C. And the other query block, select max of salary from employee where DNO is equal to 5. Okay, so we have two query blocks. So for this particular SQL query, the equivalent algebra expression is given as here. Okay. So inner query, we'll take inner query, max of salary of the particular department number equal to 5. Which employee is getting maximum salary? That particular will be calculated, and that particular answer will be given as an input to the outer block. So we are checking here. First pi, that letter denotes project operation. So that will just project only first name and last name of a particular employee. Remaining all attributes of the particular table will not be shown. Only it projects only the selected attributes or column names. And within the bracket we have given select of salary is greater than C. That is the answer of first inner query, and it will be cross-checked with that particular salary should be checked. If it is greater than the answer from the employee table, that alone will be selected, and for them only first name and last name will be given. Okay. Now we are going to see next. Now we have seen how to translate SQL into relational algebra expression. So corresponding relational algebra expression would be obtained. Once you have corresponding equivalent relational algebra expression, the next step is to generate query tree. Let me see what is query tree or query graph. This is nothing but your entire relational algebra expression would be represented by tree data structure. That is called as query tree. And the same expression can also be represented as graph data structure. So that could be known as query graph. So either query tree would be generated or various query graph would be generated for the same relational algebra expression. Now we are going to see this example. Select P number, D number, last name, address, birth date. I've written data, sorry, B birth date from project department employee. So 3 tables we are using here. One is project table, the other one is department table, the other one is employee table. 3 tables we are using here. Corresponding attribute names are given in the same color. So select P number, D number, we are selecting from project table. Okay. And last name, address, birth date, we are going to select from employee table. And from department table, the attribute D number, we are going to check in the where condition. Now let me explain the query. Here, tables used are project table, department table, and employee table. Now here, we are going to select all these given attributes from various tables by checking department number, that is D num of project table should be equivalent to D number of department table. That should be matched. Only those respective rows would be fetched. And also the other condition is MGR SSN is equal to SSN. MGR SSN would be present in department table, that is manager social security number. That should be equivalent to social security number, that is SSN of employee table. And one more condition is also being checked. Project location must be Stafford. Okay, we are giving straight away the value. Stafford is a place name, is a value of a particular project location table. So we are giving directly the value. So all the 3 conditions are being checked and relevant records alone should be selected. Okay, this is a query, sample query, and we are going to see how this is changed into relational algebra expression, as well as different various query trees we are going to generate from this expression. Now, before that, I want to explain the table schema. Okay, so red color is a employee table, green color is department table, blue color is project table. And I've shown you all the attributes also called as column names. So in employee table, F name, L name, SSN, DOB, address, gender, SAL, super SSN, DNO. So these are all various attributes of employee table. Similarly, all the other attributes of relevant tables are given. Okay, so these are the attributes and tables we are going to use it. Right? Okay. And in employee table, SSN is a primary key. You all know what is primary key. Primary key is meant for fetching unique record. Okay. Once you designate any attribute as primary key, that means you cannot make a duplicate value. Also, you should not leave it as null. That is the functionality of primary key. And DNO of employee table is a foreign key. Foreign key means a reference key. Through this DNO only, DNO of employee table and D number of department table should be connected. So through this connection only, we'll be able to fetch the other attributes of department table from employee table itself. Similarly, department table and project table would be connected by using D number of department table, D num of project table. This is how we connect all the tables directly or indirectly by somehow, so that from one table you'll all be fetch other attributes by using this connection from all other attributes from all the table. Now, I've shown you the query, SQL query. Select P number, D num, L name, address, birth date from project, department, employee, where this query we have seen. So the relevant relational algebra expression is this. Okay, and now this particular, initially this particular query tree would be generated. This is known as query tree. Okay, so this particular query tree would be generated as initial tree, where they apply Cartesian product. First, what they'll do, they will just combine all the tables initially. Okay, so here P node represents project table, D node represents department table, E node represents employee table. Okay, so initially project table and department table are going to be combined by using Cartesian product. You all know what is Cartesian product. So I'll explain. Project table and department table are combined by using Cartesian table, Cartesian product operation, and that particular resultant table and employee table would be again combined by using Cartesian product operation. We'll see what is Cartesian product operation. Cartesian product is denoted by X. It will just combine all the columns of the given table. Say for example, department cross project. It will combine all the columns of department table as well as all the columns of project table. That too, it will give various combinations also. You already know what is Cartesian product. We also refer this as cross product. So you know what is cross function does. It will combine various combination. One row will be selected. Say for example, CSE 100 start date. That will be selected, and all the combinations of project table will be repeated. So you have more duplications. Various duplications you will have. Same CSE 100, the same details have been combined with the other row. Say for example, we have 2 rows in department and 2 rows in project. See how many rows we have got now? 4 rows. Combinations are, duplicates are generated. So this is the purpose of Cartesian product or cross product, where you will have all combinations. Okay. So initially the query tree would be generated based on Cartesian product. See, project table and department table are combined as one table by using Cartesian product. That particular resultant table will be combined with employee table by using Cartesian product. So you'll be having number of duplicate records. So project columns, department columns, all will be mingled and all duplicate records will be generated, and that resultant table will be combined with employee table, and respective attributes are all included, all such duplicate rows would be generated. Once you have very large resultant table, from the table, we are going to check whether project department number is equal to department D number should be matched. Only those relevant records alone will be fetched in the next step. And also the other condition is MGR SSN should be equivalent to employees SSN, department D dot MGR SSN, that is department tables manager SSN should be equivalent to employees SSN number. So that is being cross-checked. And only those particular relevant records alone would be fetched. And project.p location, project tables entity P location should be Stefford. So all these conditions are being checked when after Cartesian product is applied, that operation is applied, the resultant table you get as a very large database table. Okay, from that you are selecting based on this condition. And after that, you're going to project only whatever attributes we need it to be displayed. Say this pi symbol is for projection. So project P.P number, P.D number, employee dot, that is E dot L name, E dot address, E dot B date. What are all is needed, those relevant attributes would be projected from this table. Okay, so this is one query tree. Likewise, various query trees would be generated. So the next query tree, we are using join operation. Okay, so instead of Cartesian, here it is replaced by join operation. I'll explain what is join operation. First of all, it is denoted by this symbol. And this operation is very much equivalent to Cartesian product operation followed by select operation. Put together, Cartesian product plus select operation put together can be referred as join operation. Okay, so we have seen the tables and now see how in Cartesian product how this particular resultant table is produced. You see all where you have all duplicate rows. CSC 100 date, one particular row of project table. Again same CSC 1 same row with another project row. So various duplicates we are generating. But in join operation, it is not like that. Join operation, we don't have any duplicate value. We just combine and just select by using select operation. In the previous query tree, we have used separate Cartesian product one step, and after that we are going to select based on the condition. But in join operation, while combining itself, we select based on the condition. That is the difference between cross operation and join operation. See in this example, look at the table. Here also we are combining all the attributes of two tables. Say for example, department table as well as project table is combined. All the attributes of two tables are combined as a resultant table. But when you check out the values, if rows you have taken, you can check where you don't find any duplicate rows. CSC 100 date A 200 Chennai 1. Here what is happening? D number of department table and D num of project table. Both should be equal in number. It is being checked. Here also 1, that is also 1. That particular row alone would be fetched by using join operation. Similarly, D number should be 2 and D num also 2. Both the values must be true. Okay. So only then the particular row will be selected. So join operation is equal to Cartesian plus select operation. When you apply Cartesian product, you have to explicitly use select operation. But when you use join operation, you don't need to use separate operations. This is put together Cartesian. While combining the tables, it combines all the rows based on select operation. So the resultant table will be very less. It doesn't occupy more space comparing your Cartesian product. That is the advantage of join operation. So this particular query tree is generated. First we had another query tree. Now this is another query tree. This is an optimized query tree. What is happening here? Instead of Cartesian product or cross product, we call it as Cartesian product or cross product. Instead of that operation, join operation is being used here. Okay. So initially project table, and we have select only the Stefford location. Even here we are optimizing even one more step further. We select only selection. Okay, P location must be Stefford, and that particular row alone, all the rows, whichever P location of project table equal to Stefford, that rows alone are retrieved, and that particular resultant table should be joined with department table. Okay, so what is it being displayed? Join project.d number is equal to department.d number. That is, project table's d num should be equivalent to department table's d number. If that condition is satisfied, only those relevant records could be retrieved. And then that resultant table will again be joined with employee table based on this condition. What is the condition here? Department manager SSN should be equivalent to employees SSN. That should be equivalent. Okay, based on that condition, the resultant table will be generated. And at last, we are projecting only whatever attributes we need it to be displayed, that attributes alone we are displaying by using project operation. So when you look at this particular query tree, it is better optimized than the first tree. Okay. Likewise, various query trees would be generated. Okay. And now we are going to see query graph. So as I told you already, query tree can be, various query trees would be generated for a single SQL query in terms of relational algebra expression, or otherwise query graph could be generated. Number of query graphs could be generated. So either we use query tree or we are going to use query graph. For example, I'll just tell you what is query graph, how it looks like. This is the query graph would look like this. What did I tell you about query graph? The equivalent relational algebra expression can also be represented by means of graph data structure. So you all know what is graph data structure. It is the combination of vertex and nodes. So we call it as edges. The lines and all are edges. That is vertex, the lines, okay, connection lines or edges, and the round is part is vertex. So it is a combination of vertex and edges. Okay, so we are using three tables as such: project table, department table, and employee table. And the leaf node is Stefford. The leaf node should be mentioned like this. And we are checking the condition: project location must be Stefford. And from that we take the project table and we are checking. We are combining with department table by means of project.d number should be equivalent to d.d number. Okay, it is joining operation. So this particular same query can be represented by means of query graph. So this is your query graph. Okay. So likewise, various query trees would be generated. Among those query tree, the better optimized query tree would be selected for evaluation. So once a better query tree would be optimized query tree is selected, then that particular query tree will go for evaluation engine, after which execution, according to the execution plan, the final answer you will be getting. Okay, we are going to see one more query. Consider the query Q that states find the last names of employees. So where last name, first name and all would be, you can get it from employee table. Born after 1957. So this represents birth date. So what and all we need? You have to fetch last name, birth date should be after 1957. So these details we are getting from employee table who work on a project named Aquarius. So here, three tables we are going to use: employee, works on table, project table. Employee, all employee details you'll be having in employee table. Works on table will be having all the details, okay, who is working on which project and all. Okay, that particular detail would be available in works on table. And project table is all about project. Whatever projects for a particular software company is having, all the project details would be mentioned in the project table. Now we are going to see the SQL query. Select last name from employee. Okay, so we are going to display only L name, last name. Okay, and birth date we are going to use for checking purpose. So select L name from employee, and three tables we are going to use. So we mention all the three tables: employee, works on table, project table, and all the other two tables attributes we are going to use for checking condition, where P name equal to Aquarius, that is available in project table. Okay, project name should be Aquarius, and ESSN is equal to SSN. SSN is available in where? Employee table, and ESSN is available in works on table. So by that we are connecting employee table and works on table, and P number is equal to PNO. P number is available in project table, PNO is available in works on table. By these two variables we are connecting works on table and project table. See how we are connecting all the tables. So by this keys we are using foreign key and primary key, we are connecting all the tables. So using these conditions, and also the last condition is birth date should be greater than this particular value. So based on this condition, we are going to fetch the employee's last name. Now the relevant query tree for this particular query, see, initially what tree is generated? It is using Cartesian product. Employee table, works on table. Both the tables are combined by using Cartesian product. So as I mentioned earlier, all the attributes of employee table and all the attributes of works on table will be combined, and the resultant table you will be having many duplications. Why? Because cross product operation does in that way. One row of a particular table will be selected. All the rows combination, all the other rows of particular another table will be combined. So many duplications you will be having when you use Cartesian product. So initially employee table and works on table are being combined by using Cartesian product. So the resultant table will be a large table, as well as the resultant table, a large resultant table will again be combined with project table by using Cartesian product or cross product. Again you will be having many more combinations. The resultant table will be huge. From that we are selecting by using sigma. P name is equal to Aquarius, and P number equal to PNO, and ESSN equal to SSN, and B date should be greater than this value. So based on these several conditions, now we are using all the three tables. Okay, we make it as one huge table, and we are posing this condition, all the conditions. And based on these conditions, only relevant rows are being fetched. And finally, we are projecting only the L name of a particular table, of the employee name who matches all these conditions. Okay, so this is the initial query tree we are obtaining. Next, how it is being transformed, you know. Now we are moving all select operations down. Okay, so this is another query tree, optimized query tree than the first query tree. Okay, so what do you do here? We don't need all the attributes. We need only the birth date to be cross-checked from employee table. Okay, so we are selecting only that particular attribute. So we just cross-check birth date should be greater than this particular date. So those rows alone, comprising all the attributes, those rows alone will be fetched. Instead of combining all attributes, all the rows, now we are filtering by using select operation. So based on this condition, all the relevant rows alone will be fetched as a resultant table. And that particular resultant table will be combined with works on table by means of Cartesian product, where you will be having all the combinations, all the attributes will be combined, and all the redundant rows and all will be generated. And with that resultant table, again we are selecting ESSN is equal to SSN. What is ESSN? Employees social security number, which will be available in works on table. Okay, and SSN is a social security number, will be available in employee table. So again we are checking ESSN of works on table should be equivalent to SSN of employee table. Either way you can write sigma SSN equal to ESSN or sigma ESSN equal to SSN, both are similar. Okay, so all this condition is being checked. Only those relevant rows are being fetched as a resultant table, intermediate resultant table. And again from project table, project name should be Aquarius. That particular rows alone we are fetching, and that resultant table is combined with the previous resultant table by means of Cartesian product. And again you will be having some redundant values, because whenever we apply Cartesian product we have redundant rows. Okay, even though we have utilized sigma, still we may have some redundant. And again we are selecting P number equal to PNO, that is P number we are obtaining from project table, and PNO we have obtained from works on. So that should be matched. Okay, only those relevant tables are fetched, and from that we are projecting only the last name. So this is one more query tree. It is better than the previous query tree. The next query tree, again, see, we have used all, still furthermore you have optimized. Okay, this is another query tree. Project table, you have selected only Aquarius, and you are combined with, instead of employee table, you are combining with works on table now. And again you are selecting, and again from employee table birth date is being selected. Again these two tables are being combined by using Cartesian product. So these are various query trees. The previous example we have combined project and employee. Now here in this query tree, project and works on table are initially being combined. In any way you can do it. Okay, so these are the various query trees we are generating. Okay, next, replacing your Cartesian product and select operation with join operations. So instead of using Cartesian product, we can use join operation. So join operation will replace Cartesian plus select. I told you already, whenever you use join operation, based on this condition, it will fetch the relevant rows where you don't have any redundant rows. That is the biggest advantage of join operation over Cartesian product. We look at the example. The query tree says project table we have used, and from project table we have selected P name should be equivalent to Aquarius. That particular rows alone with all attributes, relevant attributes we have selected. Okay, that alone we have selected, and that is joined with works on table based on the condition P number equal to PNO. Okay, so from works on table, that project number, and the project table, that particular project number should be matched. Only those relevant records alone will be fetched by using join operation. Here redundancy will not be there. Every row would be unique. Okay, every row would be unique. You will be having all the attributes of both the tables. And again the resultant table will again be combined with employee table. Here also we have given no sigma birth date should be less greater than that particular date. Okay, so based on that particular condition, that rows alone will be fetched, and that will be combined, that will be joined. You're combining these two tables, resultant tables now by means of join operation. Again, we have given a condition, employee SSN should be equivalent to social security number of employee table. Okay, so these must be matched. Again, we are joining by based on this condition, and this, now this resultant table will be having no redundant values from where you are projecting only last name. So how step by step we are optimizing? See, so initially we have used only Cartesian product. Later we have used select operation. But next next query tree is generated. Initially, you have selected whichever relevant attributes we needed. We select only those rows, and again we replace the Cartesian product. Or before join operation, several ways. There are many ways to join your, combine your tables. Okay. So the next query tree is based on join operation. So these are the various query trees generated. See, now project operation, moving project operation down the query tree. This is one such optimization. Okay. This is another query tree for the same query. See, initially project table is there, where we are selecting project name equal to Aquarius, and works on table is there. We project only ESSN number and project number. Okay. Only these attributes we needed. We don't need all the attributes. So why do we have all the attributes in the resultant table? No need, right? So what can be done? We can project with whatever attributes we need. Only those attributes can be selected. You can keep. And that can be combined. That can be joined as a resultant table. You understand? So initially I'll explain. Project leaf node, from bottom to top only it will execute. So you look at the leaf node, project table. Project table, you select only those rows where P name equal to Aquarius. So all the rows where P name equal to Aquarius will be selected. Then from works on table, whatever attributes we need, okay, all the rows here will be present here, but ESSN and P number alone will be projected from works on table. So only those attribute values we have taken. Okay, here all the rows whichever is matched with Aquarius, here ESSN and P number of works on project, those attributes alone we have taken. Okay, and from this, okay, again we have projected only P number. Okay, once sigma P name equal to Aquarius, then all the rows will be there where P name equal to Aquarius. From there we need only P number attribute alone. So why do we have all the attributes again? So we filter again. We filter only that particular attribute, P number, from this table. Okay, that particular attribute is joined with ESSN and PNO. Now the resultant table will be having only 3 attributes now: P number, ESSN, PNO. Okay, so that is being joined by based on the condition P number equal to PNO. So the resultant table will be only 3 attributes: P number, ESSN, PNO, where rows, which rows will be there retrieved where P number equal to PNO. Only when the condition is being matched, those relevant rows alone will be fetched. From there, we are projecting only ESSN number. Why? Because we need only SSN number now, as of now. So ESSN number will be projected. Now here, in the rightmost corner, employee table. From the employee table, we select birth date should be greater than this particular date. So sigma operation, select operation will select all the rows which matches this particular condition. So rows means you will be having all the attributes. Only project operation will select only the relevant attributes. Here rows will be selected. Select operation will select all the rows having all the attributes. Selecting the rows based on this condition should be greater than December 31st, 1957. Okay. From that, we project only SSN and last name, social security number field and L name field. Those alone, those attributes only we are projecting. And again, we join ESSN number from this leftmost corner and this SSN and L name from rightmost the table. Now both the tables, intermediate resultant tables, are being combined or being joined based on the condition called ESSN number equal to SSN. So based on this condition, the resultant table you will be getting. From there you are projecting the last name of an employee. Okay. So what is the heuristic optimization we have done here? We are moving all project operation, okay, PI operation, project operation down the tree. Instead of having all the attributes, we select only relevant attributes, whatever we need. That is selected. Then by using join operation, we are combining. Then wherever we want to use select operation, we are using. Okay. So this is another query tree, and we are moving project operation down the tree. Okay. So these are the various heuristics. Okay. Given. You can have all select the condition. You can all, first of all, break all the entire query as various conjunctive selection condition. You can break up all select condition, and you can move each select operation far down the query tree. Wherever you need, how much ever you can move, that much you can move your select operation down the tree, and rearrange the leaf nodes of the tree using select operation, so that select operation should be executed first and then the Cartesian operation. And you can combine all the Cartesian, or other way you can replace all the Cartesian by join operation. All the Cartesian and subsequent select operation into Cartesian, into join operation. So wherever we have used Cartesian product and select operation, there you can replace those operations by means of join operation. Okay. And you can break down project attributes, and you can move as far as possible to the down of the tree. So these are the various heuristics we can follow while optimizing. Okay. Now you can check out, okay, this is another query, and we are going to select only research people. Okay, so now department table, department name should be research. Those rows alone we are fetching, and from employee table we are going to join the two tables now. Department table where D name should be research, and all the employee attributes, employee table, we are going to join by using D number equal to D number. Okay, so whoever is working for research department, that alone will be joined, and from there we are going to fetch only first name, last name and address. Rest all attributes we don't need. So we project only that. Okay, so this is another query, optimized query tree. Okay, now we are going to see this optimization is based on different cost metrics. Okay, different cost, storage cost, computational cost. Okay, so mainly these are the two costs, storage cost and computation cost. Okay, so if you don't optimize a query tree, when you use all Cartesian operation, cross product operation, then the storage cost would be very much higher. You have to store intermediate huge volume of table. Okay, you have to store. So storage cost would be too high, and computation cost also will be more. Okay, so initially we are projecting only relevant table. When you optimize a query tree, if you don't optimize, you are considering all the attributes of a table. So computation cost also would be very much. So based on this cost matrix, optimizer would select a query tree. Now, the Oracle DBMS provides two approaches: rule-based optimization, cost-based optimization. Okay, so the optimizer engine, that particular module can select any execution plan based on heuristics, whatever heuristics we have listed. Okay, you can replace Cartesian operation by Cartesian and select operation by join operation. You can move all the project operation down the tree. You can move select operation down the tree. These are all heuristics. So based on heuristics, based on rule, you can optimize. One way of optimizing is based on rule based. The other is based on cost based. The optimizer examines which particular query tree will give you the lesser